George Richard Chamberlain entered the world in Beverly Hills on March 31, 1934. Initially, his path pointed towards the arts, specifically painting, which he studied at Pomona College. His education was interrupted by military service. During the Korean War, he served as an infantry clerk in the army. Upon returning from service, Chamberlain experienced a shift in focus, deciding to pursue acting instead. He dedicated himself to learning the craft, studying both voice and drama. Early opportunities came through guest roles in various television shows and a part in the 1960 film The Secret of the Purple Reef. In the year 1961, a significant opportunity arose. Chamberlain secured the title role in a new television series, Dr. Kildare. The program was based on a successful series of films from the 1930s and 40s. Almost immediately upon the show's debut, Chamberlain became a major star. His portrayal of the compassionate young physician resonated strongly with audiences, particularly teenage girls. During this period, another medical drama, Ben Casey, also premiered and achieved great popularity, making its lead actor, Vince Edwards, a star as well. The cultural impact was notable. Theme songs from both programs reached the pop charts, with Chamberlain himself performing the Kildare theme. A pop song even referenced both characters directly. For 3 consecutive years, from 1963 to 1965, Photoplay magazine recognized Chamberlain as the most popular male star. His career trajectory soared during the show's run, which lasted until 1966. However, this immense fame came with personal complexities. Throughout these years and for decades afterward, Chamberlain concealed his identity as a gay man, a fact known within industry circles but not publicly acknowledged. Studio executives often requested he escort prominent actresses to public events. When questioned by reporters about his unmarried status, he consistently offered a prepared response about being too busy for marriage. In later reflections, particularly in his 2003 autobiography, Shattered Love, he described the intense pressure and self-dislike he felt growing up when being gay was considered unacceptable. Hiding became a necessary, albeit burdensome, strategy. The book also touched upon a challenging childhood marked by an alcoholic father. After Dr. Kildare concluded in 1966, Chamberlain faced the common actor's challenge of being strongly identified with a single, famous role. Seeking to broaden his range and find different kinds of work, he relocated to England for a time. While in England, he actively worked on honing his acting skills. He collaborated with director Richard Lester on several films, including Petulia in 1968, followed by The Three Musketeers in 1973 and The Four Musketeers in 1974, portraying the character Aramis. His stage work during this era was also significant. In 1969, he took on the demanding title role in Hamlet at England's Birmingham Repertory Company. That performance was later adapted for television and broadcast in the United States. He also appeared in a film adaptation of Julius Caesar, playing Octavius alongside established actors like Charlton Heston and Jason Robards. As events unfolded in the late 1970s, a new phase of Chamberlain's career began. In 1978, he starred in Centennial, a sprawling 24-hour television miniseries based on James Michener's novel. This marked his entry into a format where he would achieve remarkable success. Subsequently, in 1980, he starred in Shogun, another ambitious miniseries adapted from James Clavell's novel about an American navigating feudal Japan. His performance earned him a Golden Globe Award. His greatest triumph in the miniseries format arrived in 1983 with The Thorn, based on Colleen McCullough's best-selling novel. He portrayed Father Ralph de Bricasart, a Catholic priest in Australia entangled in a forbidden romance with Maggie Cleary, played by Rachel Ward. The production reportedly captivated an enormous audience, estimated around 100 million viewers, and earned Chamberlain another Golden Globe. He had previously won a Golden Globe for his work on Dr. Kildare. Throughout the era of the television miniseries, Chamberlain became widely known for his leading roles in these lengthy, dramatic productions. When audience interest in the format eventually waned, he shifted his focus again. He returned to the theater, showcasing his vocal talents. In 1994, he appeared on Broadway as Henry Higgins in a revival of My Fair Lady. 5 years later, in 1999, he starred as Captain Von Trapp in a revival of The Sound of Music. He even revisited his role as Father de Bricquesart in a 1996 television movie titled The Thorn, The Missing Years. His film career continued alongside television and stage work, with roles in productions such as The Music Lovers, where he played T. Tchaikovsky, The Madwoman of Chaillot, and the disaster film The Towering Inferno. He reprised his role as Aramis in The Return of the Musketeers in 1989. The publication of his autobiography, Shattered Love, in 2003 marked a significant personal milestone. In it, he publicly confirmed his lifelong identity as a gay man. He expressed relief at no longer needing to maintain the pretense that had defined much of his public life. He described the end of the cat-and-mouse game he had played with the press for decades. Into the 21st century, Chamberlain continued to accept acting roles. He made appearances on television shows including Will and Grace, The Drew Carey Show, and Touched by an Angel. Richard Chamberlain passed away on a Saturday night in Waimanalo, Hawaii. His death at age 90 resulted from complications following a stroke. His longtime partner, Martin Rabbit, shared sentiments about Chamberlain's passing, reflecting on a cherished life and enduring love. Throughout the early 2000s, Chamberlain continued to selectively take roles, demonstrating a sustained presence in entertainment. His guest appearances on popular television programs kept him connected to contemporary audiences. In the year 2003, the publication of his autobiography, Shattered Love, became a pivotal moment. Within its pages, he openly addressed his identity as a gay man, ending decades of public silence and speculation. He described the writing process as cathartic, lifting a significant emotional weight carried since his youth. Chamberlain expressed a profound sense of relief at finally concluding the long-standing need for concealment from the press and public. As events unfolded decades later, Richard Chamberlain's long life reached its conclusion. He passed away on a Saturday night in Waimanalo, Hawaii. His death occurred due to complications arising from a stroke. He had reached the age of 90. Martin Rabbit, identified as his lifelong partner, released a statement confirming the loss. Rabbit spoke of Chamberlain with deep affection, acknowledging their bond and expressing sorrow at his passing. Chamberlain's career spanned distinct, highly successful phases. It began with immense popularity as the idealistic title character in television's Dr. Kildare during the early 1960s. Subsequently, he achieved renewed prominence in the late 1970s and 1980s, becoming a leading figure in the era of the television miniseries. His starring roles in epic productions like Centennial, Shogun, and particularly The Thorn solidified this reputation. His performances garnered critical acclaim across different mediums. He received Golden Globe Awards for his work in Dr. Kildare, Shogun, and The Thorn, recognizing his contributions over several decades. Later in his career, he dedicated significant time to stage performance, undertaking major roles in prominent Broadway revivals, adding another dimension to his versatile professional life. His journey through acting reflected shifts in popular entertainment and his own capacity for adaptation and reinvention. His early fame, driven by the Dr. Kildare series, created a specific public persona. That carefully managed image stood in stark contrast to the personal reality he felt compelled to conceal for many years. During this period in Hollywood history, societal attitudes towards homosexuality were profoundly different. Openly acknowledging such an identity was widely considered damaging, if not impossible, for a leading man's career. Chamberlain's decision to keep his private life hidden was, therefore, a product of intense societal pressure and professional calculation. He later spoke about the deep personal cost of maintaining that secrecy for so long. The publication of Shattered Love represented not just a personal unburdening, but also a statement made decades after the peak pressures of his initial stardom had subsided. It allowed him control over his own narrative. His professional legacy remains multifaceted. He navigated the transition from teen idol television doctor to respected dramatic actor in ambitious miniseries and classical stage roles. From his initial breakthrough in 1961 through his work well into the 21st century, Chamberlain remained an active participant in the entertainment industry. His passing marks the end of a long and varied career that unfolded across significant shifts in media and culture. His journey began portraying an idealized physician, a role that defined him for a generation in the early 1960s. The cultural impact of that television series was substantial during its run. Subsequently, he consciously sought roles that challenged that initial perception, moving towards classical theater and complex film characters. His time spent working in England was crucial for developing this different aspect of his craft. The cultural phenomenon surrounding the medical dramas of that specific television era remains a notable point in broadcast history. It launched careers and influenced popular trends for a time. Throughout the following decades, Chamberlain demonstrated a capacity to reinvent his career path multiple times. From television stardom, he transitioned successfully into the demanding format of the epic miniseries. When that format declined in popularity, he shifted again, finding success on the theatrical stage in major musical productions. This adaptability marked his long professional life. His eventual public acknowledgement of his personal life in 2003 provided a significant commentary on the pressures faced by performers, especially those from earlier generations operating under different societal expectations. His work ultimately spanned from the heart of early television stardom, through the peak years of the miniseries boom, and onto respected stage performances later in life, concluding a career of considerable range and endurance.